All right, now to a quick look at other stories making news this week. The Detroit City Council and City Clerk, well, they're getting a pay raise, and the controversy grows in response to Indiana's new Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Could Michigan be next? All right, so let's start first and really quickly mention Detroit City Council will finally get a little bit of a pay raise bump. Stephen?
They're underpaid, and there's no question about that. It's not the kind of job or salary structure that would attract the kind of talent that you want and need to govern the city better. The problem is that this is just not being put in any context. I mean, if city council is underpaid, think about how many other people. I mean, everybody who works for city government has taken huge cuts and given up lots of things over the last 5 or 10 years. I'm not sure I would have put council at the front of the line to get those things back. I mean, I think I would have looked at bus drivers or garbage workers or people clerical workers making very little money and now not being able to count on the kind of pensions that they had before. Those are the people who are really hurting: cops, firefighters, not necessarily city council people who are underpaid, but are in a whole different class of earning.
Was this a good move, Nolan?
No, it looks like politicians taking care of themselves first. The city just got out of bankruptcy. Brenda Jones asked for this raise the very same week that the pensioners took their first cut in their monthly benefit checks. The optics are horrible, but the rationale is terrible too. I mean, let's see how they perform. They just got control of the city back. I disagree with the talent attraction. They had 135 people apply for that one opening. The salary wasn't a deterrent in terms of interest in the job.
Well, maybe in terms of quality, though.
Well, pay is not going to guarantee quality as long as it's a process where people have to be elected. I mean, that's no guarantee of quality.
All right, now I hate to do this with just about 3 minutes left, but I don't think you can go through the week without seeing what the news coming out of Indiana and talking about the Religious Freedom Restoration Act and what could possibly be happening here in Michigan, Stephen. What's percolating in the legislature in Lansing that could put us on the same path? And has Michigan learned anything from watching what's happened in Indiana
Well,
this
they
week?
should be watching pretty closely. I mean, it's not just leftist gay rights advocates, for instance, who are against this. You have the business community that's come out very strongly against it. You have major sports organizations. This is bad for business because it is discrimination. It is trying to sow discrimination into the law ahead of constitutional rulings they think are coming out of the high court this spring that will prevent it. The practical effect of these will probably be almost nothing in the long run. I expect that it will not be legal to even try to do this very soon. But it's a black mark for Indiana that they've done this, and Michigan should not follow suit.
Michigan had a law last year that was more like the federal law and the law in 20 other states. Indiana's law is much more aggressive, applies to corporations, applies to personal transactions. Michigan's didn't, but it was also paired with an expansion of the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act to cover gays and lesbians, and should have been passed, and they should have been tie-barred and passed in tandem. You had another political squabble in the legislature. Democrats killed the proposal because it didn't include transgenders in specific language, and now here we sit a long way from getting either one passed.
So do you think what's happening in Indiana is going to make lawmakers here pause?
I don't think it'll make the lawmakers pause. It may make it may influence what the governor does.